Hi YouTube, today I'm going to run through the Aquaverse 65. It's a fish tank I picked up from my local World of Water. It's supplied by Interpet as a kit. It comes with a bunch of stuff to get you started as a fish tank and into the hobby. So if you're looking to compare this with maybe a second-hand fish tank or a new fish tank, then stick around because I'll give you some pointers about this tank that you might want to consider before you buy it. So I'm using this tank primarily as a quarantine tank. As you might be aware, I had some issues with some white spot in my main display tank, and I thought now I've got the space, I can really do the best that I can in fish keeping, and before I'm going to introduce fish to the tank now, I can keep them into a kind of quarantine phase for a bit, make sure they're okay, and stop more disease outbreaks in my main tank. So at the moment I've got 7 angelfish in here. They're going to be going into the main tank if everything goes well and they're disease free. And yeah, I'll keep you in the loop about how that goes in some of my other videos. So starting with the kit overall, you get a couple of water-based products. So you get some filter start, which is called Fast Filter Start, and you get some bioactive Tap Safe Plus. So this is a dechlorinator for your tap water, which you want to use every time you do water changes or fill the tank up. Both of these, there is no way of measuring out the quantities that they say you need when you use them in the tank. So I think the Tap Safe is 1 ml per 9 litres. And the filter start is 1 ml per 36 litres. But again, how do you measure that out? There's nothing supplied with it. So consider that you might want to buy some more Tap Safe, which has got one of those caps that's got the measuring notches on it. So then you can use that to help measure these out. So that was a bit of a pain if you're starting out fresh. The filter overall, I think, could really do with some improvement. This is the filter that they supply. It's called it's just internal cartridge filter by Interpet, and it comes with an algae away pad. It comes with a little kind of soft, and it's got activated carbon in it as well. It's got like a soft pad there for your mechanical filtration. You get some very tiny bioceramic rings that I guess are supposed to hold bacteria in. I really think if you were going to use this whole bottom piece comes off. You could potentially, let's try and do that. So I've got the bottom off. The filter attaches inside and basically takes the water in and pushes it out into the filter area. Now I think you could easily put some filter pad around this to catch some of that do some of that mechanical filtration, and then inside this you could then add in some biological media. You could put like Biohome Ultimate, well, the Biohome ceramic balls. You could put Eheim Substrat Pro. You do something like that to harbour some bacteria in here and really help the tank out. I don't think this is efficient enough for if you were especially stocking what is in the instructions, and we'll get onto that later. It's not all doom and gloom though. The heater that they supply is I really like this. It's got like a reader on the side that goes up and down depending on what you've adjusted it to. It's really good quality. Well, it feels good quality. I haven't had any problems with it. I had it set to 26 degrees. It gets quite cold in this room overnight, and it's been rock solid at 26. So yeah, a good heater. Happy with this. If you were to buy these separately online, they're not cheap either. So yeah, that's a good positive for the tank. The other thing that's okay, the lighting, it's a T8 light unit. So it's just a single tube. It's a 15-watt unit. Nowadays, this is, there's much better lighting technologies. LEDs are way better now, even just some cheaper LEDs. I'm quite a fan of the T8s though. I've had some tanks with some really good growth out of T8 bulbs. You can get different bulbs that have different light spectrums and really can bring out some great growth and that kind of thing. So if you're looking at doing that, then let me know in the comments how it gets on. I think it could be quite good if you get the right bulb in there. So yeah, give that a go. And then that's kind of it in the terms of the main things that they supply. The things that you might want to consider though as well, the canopy. The canopy's rimless, so if you want to use this as a rimless tank, that's a great option, and it would look really quite smart like that, and you could put like a hanging light on top and get quite a cheap tank if you were to get the second hand and take the whole canopy off. The only thing, if you're not doing that, is every time you take it off, water goes everywhere. It bleeds down the front of the tank, it gets into the rim. So it's quite annoying. You need to get some towels around you to make sure that you're not going to have any spillages. If it gets around the back as well, you really want to make sure your power and electrics are all sorted around there, because it could drip down the back and you don't want all that going on your electrics. I got the cabinet as a bit of a bargain. I don't understand why they've done it as a grey kind of colour, a dark grey, when the whole tank is black. You might like it. Mine, I'm just using it temporarily. It's a sturdy cabinet. It's got 2 doors. You've got the extensibility to be able to hang the power stuff up in it. And also there's space for an external canister filter. So in the terms of that, you've also got the holes at the back of the canopy to put the outlet and inlet pipes through. So that's quite a bonus, because if you're looking to get into this hobby and you think you might want to upgrade eventually, you could then look at getting an external canister filter, really improve the filtration on this tank and sort of go from there and increase it. The thermometer they supply is great. It's just one of those standard glass jobs. I'm a fan of these. They're easy to read. They're pretty accurate. You don't have to worry about batteries and things falling apart, and I find the readings on them are pretty good. So yeah, that's a good shout from Interpet on that one. And then finally, the thing that I was quite surprised at was the kind of care guide that they give you. So the stocking options on the Aquaverse 65 that they say, I don't think, well, for instance, they've got a bristle nose plec as one. This is for the whole thing. So just the 65, you can have 1 bristle nose plec, 3 rams, 2 cobalt blue gouramis, 5 glow light tetras, and 3 cories. So cories, really, you kind of want to keep them in. Well, 3's a bit low. I keep a bunch of them, but you know, you want probably a few more than 3 if you're keeping them. 3 rams in this tank, probably you could just have the rams on their own, and that is it. So yeah, I think that some of their stocking options is a little bit ambitious, and especially with that filter that they supply. So take that with a pinch of salt. I think they can probably work on what they recommend on the starter kit especially. The thing that they do talk about is the nitrogen cycle, so that's great. They give you a good overview of that. So if you are starting out, at least it gives you some information about how the fish tank nitrogen cycle works and how you keep a clean and healthy maintained aquarium. So overall, the canopy is probably the thing that lets it down the most. If you're looking at this as a second-hand tank and you're not going to keep it as a rimless aquarium, then that canopy might be something that you want to look at as one with a rim, so you don't get all that water going everywhere. But other than that, a pretty solid starter kit if you can get this as a bit of a bargain. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see the angelfish going into the main tank soon.